Buckle up, guys, because I am going there today. So in this Monday's chat, I shared some of the pros and cons of dance sport being added to the Olympics docket. And one of the cons I saw was the money involved in the Olympics and how in the past I have seen some real ugly political infighting result as a result of money coming into play. And many pros are not willing to talk publicly about this, even to their own friends, guys, because there are such vitriolic feelings on both sides of these battles, I'll call it. But hey, you guys know I've never played politics. I'm not competing professionally anymore. Do I want to make enemies? Absolutely not. But I'm not as concerned about, vengeance and political consequences as maybe some other people are. So yeah, I'm going to throw it down. Okay, so about 25 years ago, friends, I saw the national organizing bodies for dance sport get into some, I'll say, what appears to me to be a little bit of money grubbing in their tactics and their policies. And I'm not saying one side is perfect or right or wrong. Honestly, I think dance is like any other politics, guys. Like, people do tend, especially in the United States where I'm broadcasting from, we have a two-party system. It's not like Europe where you've got umpteen parties, where you just got one candidate or the other. And many people think, well, this one is perfect and this one is Satan, and sometimes the reality is, there's a very wide range of very light gray to almost black, and so dance is no different. And in these struggles, I cannot say either organization is 100% good or evil, but it is what it is. So in the process of kind of taking political and financial control of the competitions, the orgs increasingly started putting restrictions on them and requirements. So requirements to, say, pay that national organization. Back in the dark ages, guys, when I started competing, you, as a comp organizer, did not have to pay these exorbitant fees to have that sanction or title next to your name of your comp. You didn't have to pay someone to have the privilege of kind of owning that weekend on that coast for the competition. And in previous videos I have shared, there are some benefits to that, but I'm kind of sharing the downsides today. Okay, everything comes as a cost. And they originally started putting the throttle on competitions by adding these fees, by adding these requirements. And then they added restricting the judges from being allowed to compete, the judges being allowed to judge these competitions. And honestly, early on in the game, guys, a lot of the judges just kind of did it anyway, and these orgs turned a blind eye. But with time, in my opinion and my observation, they have increasingly put the screws on the teachers, on the judges, on the comp organizers. And in my opinion, it's pretty sad in that I have seen them put the screws on the non-sanctioned comps. So again, back in the dark ages, friends, from where I live in my little area of the country on the West Coast, there were 11 comps. I was just counting this morning, that you could drive to each year. So almost one comp a month. And as a competitor, when you have all of these competition opportunities, you're going to become a better dancer faster. A comp is worth 10 private lessons in terms of your learning curve, providing motivation. Also, when you have so many comps within driving distance, they're cheaper, okay? You don't have to pay for your flight, or heaven forbid, if you're Prime, you don't have to pay for your Pro's flight in a hotel. You can one and done it in a day, guys. And think about the opportunity cost. Not all competitors are rich, retired people who can just leave whenever they schedule it, okay? So the way the comps have been whittled down now to the amount of comps they allow, people must, if they want to be a serious competitor, do a lot of flying and traveling. So it's not just the money. What if you're a student? What if you have a job and you're not, an 80-year-old retired person? You have commitments. You cannot leave town 5 days a month, at least if in my country, the way that companies work. And in my opinion, this really throttles the number of people who can participate in competition. I also think back to when I first started, guys, when I ultimately became a championship level pro, and I, have done this as a career, and I love it. But you know what, guys? Honestly, if I had not had those initial local opportunities to just put my foot in the shallow end of the pool competing, I would have never started competing at all. I would not be a professional dancer today. I would have never gone to Blackpool. There's so many parts of my life that would suck in comparison to how they do now. And it just breaks my heart to see that kind of potential for the next generation of people that are, not probably pursuing competition, that who otherwise would hardcore, because they don't have that initial, more accessible, cheaper opportunity that's a little less intimidating than showing up to a huge NDCA comp. That can be scary. I feel a little like I'm throwing my students to the wolves. Nowadays I have to send them into this huge comp, and it's just a little bit overwhelming for them. It was so much easier when we had little local comps, Northwest Dance Extravaganza, City of Roses, local USABDA unsanctioned comps, where people could just drive to and kind of test it out for cheap and quick. In a small, kind of cozy environment with just more of their friends and family there, okay? I can tell you as a teacher, this kind of sucks in that, honestly, guys, this day and age, I am having a heck of a lot harder time cultivating long-term competitive clientele. And you know what? No one becomes a champion overnight. So it really, cuts me behind the knees as a teacher, being able to cultivate really good students, because they just burn out. They've spent all their money. They're tired of being stressed out because they've missed so much work to go to all these comps, and that did not used to be the case. Also, in my opinion and my observation, dance is a little bit like an addiction, a super healthy addiction, but exposure therapy, the more you're exposed to it, the more you want to do it. So say, at this point, there's only really 3 comps. There's no comps in my state anymore. They've all been throttled out. And there's only a couple they can do now, even within driving distance, every year. And good luck keeping someone addicted to something when they only get to do it 2 times a year. That's going to really put a stranglehold on their ability to progress, their comfort level on that comp floor, their excitement, in doing it again. Because sure, everyone leaves that comp and you're on that emotional and physical high and you see the great results. But you know what? Who remembers that 6 months later? And so anyway, guys, I guess I'm just saying it's unfortunate. And I've shared in other videos, I do see benefits to putting that stranglehold on comps, but I do feel it hurts the competitors. And, probably a lot lesser extent, but it also, it puts a stranglehold on the competitors a little bit even more financially, although the fees are not high. The USA Dance fees were a lot cheaper back in my day, and I'm not just talking about inflation. And at that time, when I was an amateur, we could and did compete in all the sanctioned NDCA comps, and we were not required to pay for that organizational membership. And this day and age, you know, you have to pay for this and that and the other, and a social dance membership, and a judge's membership, and a teacher's membership, and a prom membership, and an MC membership, and a DJ membership. You know, just a lot more fees for the individuals, and that is sad. So, in my opinion, and you know what? If you disagree with what I'm saying, you know, I am but one dancer in a world of ballroom dancers, guys. Please feel free to disagree with me. I always am interested to read your opinions, your experiences. I do not claim to know everything there is in the ballroom dance world. I'm just here to share with you, you know, my observations over my 40 years in this industry in my little area of the world. And also, guys, for, you know, we do have international friends here in our ballroom dance channel. If you're comfortable, guys, please tell me if you've seen similar political infighting in your neck of the woods. And if you don't feel comfortable putting your name out there in the metaverse, I get it, guys. It's a little scary for me too. You can private message me, and then I will just share, you know, your story, of course, confidentially. I would never out someone. And I do understand, you know, people are very afraid of the political consequences. And to me, that's just sad. So that's my 2 cents. So thanks for joining me today, friends. I look forward to seeing you first thing tomorrow morning with all things ballroom dance. You know, and I know we all just share, we don't give a rat's hoot about the money and the politics. We all just want to be the best dancers we can be. And I want that for you too. Okay, friends, see you tomorrow. Happy dancing. Bye.